Hey there, everybody. Cathy, alcoholic, and I want to talk a little bit more about alcoholism. I have a series going, and it's called Alcoholism, and we're trying to open up the doors to talking about the things that, for the most part, we don't speak about out loud. And so in this series, or in this little portion of my series, I want to talk about some of the questions that everybody that thinks they're an alcoholic gets a hold of and asks themselves. But then you got to think, you're asking an alcoholic to answer questions when the greatest part of the disease is denial. So normally, even on a simple question, like say if you said, Cathy, what color is your hair? I would say, well, my hair is brown. But is my hair brown? Because I do color my hair. I have colored my hair for a long time. And so probably actually my real hair is mostly gray. But if you ask me, I would say my hair is brown. If you ask me if I eat healthy, I would think about yesterday and the carrot cake, and I would think carrots are healthy. Cake, not so much, but it's always objective, maybe, how I answer the questions that I'm asked. And I can be as honest as I want to be, and I can be as forthright as I want to be. But when I'm an alcoholic, I can hardly be either. And so you're asking an alcoholic to answer what? Maybe 10 questions from a doctor, or maybe they Google it and get it online, and then they're like, I will just ask these questions myself because I know I don't have a problem. So maybe the first question is, how much do I drink? I think in one of my videos, my doctor asked me how much I drank. I think I said 3 to 4 beers a day. Well, even 3 to 4 beers a day for a young woman, I was in my 20s. I've been sober 37 years. So I was in my mid to late 20s when he was asking me this question. Even that every day, that's a case of beer a week for a young woman. Is that normal? I don't know. I really probably think that's not even normal. Anyways, because I had talked about maybe I thought I had a problem, he just multiplied that number by more than 2 times. And I didn't find that out until I went to confess that I was really an alcoholic, and he was kind of like, I know you are, look in your chart, here's what I did. And so my ability to answer the truth about how much I drink is very limited. And so how much do I drink? Do I count what nobody else knows about? I used to hide a lot of my drinking, and so I would be like, well, I just drank 2 beers since you've been home, so that's all I drank. Now, granted, I drank 8 before you got here throughout the day, but does that even count? I don't think that counts because all you saw was 2 beers. So that's what I drank. I drank 2 beers. And if I'm adding vodka to orange juice, does that count? Or is that just like orange juice? Because it looks like orange juice to me. So I don't know if I'm drinking vodka in my orange juice in the morning, if that really counts. Does that count? Now, some of you might be thinking, oh my gosh, alcoholics are crazy. And it's not so much, well, it kind of is, but it's not so much the crazy as it is the inability to see the truth. The inability to see the truth and own the truth that nobody else is talking about. Because if it's up to me, I don't see it. And if I see it, I won't own it. So there's these factors, and if anybody goes into a 12-step program, there's this really obnoxious word in the second step, and it talks about the insanity of the drinking. And that is so offensive, the insanity of the drinking. And oftentimes they use the definition that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I'm going to drink with my sister instead of my friend. I'm going to drink at that bar instead of this bar. I'm going to drink beer instead of alcohol. I mean, like vodka or whiskey. I'm going to do all these things different, and I'm going to expect a different result. And if I'm truly an alcoholic, I get the same result every time, or somewhere in that window. Maybe I wasn't blacked out until 12, and usually it's 10 o'clock. But somewhere in that window, the same thing happens every time, no matter how I try to manipulate the drink. So, how much do I drink? Can I really answer that question myself? Because if you don't know that I stopped off after work for 4 or 5 beers before I came home, I pretty much didn't drink those 4 or 5 beers. If I'm not accountable to someone, if somebody doesn't have eyeballs on me, I can't really answer the question honestly of how much I drink. Did you know that I bought that half gallon of whiskey? If you didn't know that I bought that half-gallon of whiskey, I might ask you to pick up some more whiskey when you go to the grocery store. And you might think that's just fine because you haven't bought a half-gallon of whiskey for me in 2 months. But how much do I drink? Can I answer the question myself? I don't think so. And another question that I'd like to address this morning is, can I stop? If I wanted to stop, can I stop? And the typical alcoholic will say, I just don't want to stop. That's the thing. I just don't want to stop. So how about we put whatever, like a little extra twist on this question, and we say, could I stop if somebody that cares about me asked me to stop? Could I not drink at my daughter's graduation party if she came up to me and said, Mom, you know, sometimes when you drink, you just act a little different, a little weird. So could you not drink at my graduation party? And I'd be like thinking, of course, hon, no problem. But then I'm thinking, there's going to be a lot of stress on that day. There's going to be relatives there. They're going to be looking me up and down and see how I did everything. And I think I'm going to have a drink. So maybe I have to have some drinks without Sarah knowing that I had some drinks. And maybe I'll just have drinks before people get there. Maybe I'll have some drinks in the pantry and I can go get them if I... Can I stop if someone that cares about me, someone that loves me, asks me to stop? Maybe my spouse says, hey, honey, you know, can you not drink at that Christmas party? Last Christmas party, we're still trying to live that down. And I'd really appreciate it if we're going to have to go to this work Christmas party, if you would maybe stay sober the whole night. Can I do that? Because it's almost the same as can I stop if I want to? Because I should want to for the people that are the primary people in my life. I should be able to do that. If I'm not alcoholic, it would make perfect sense. If my spouse came to me and said, can you pick this up from the dry cleaning? You know, I would probably say, I care about you. I got the time. I can pick up the dry cleaning. Can you not spend so much money? Let's go a little higher in the stakes. So much money this year in the budget for Christmas? That's not something that I want to hear. I love buying gifts. I love shopping. But if my partner came to me and said, can you cut down at least $500 on this budget? I would look at that partner and say, I love you. I care about you. This is a valid request. Unless I'm a shopaholic, I should be able to do that. And I can. But if I'm an alcoholic and somebody that cares about me brings a request to me specifically and says, can you do this for me? Can you not drink at my wedding? And I'm thinking, how will I do the mother-son dance if I don't have alcohol in me? Everybody is going to be looking at me. I might have a problem with alcohol. Now that is kind of, you know, even I get nervous thinking of everybody looking at me if I was dancing. But if it is about an inability to do it, even if a loved one comes and asks me that they want me to show up without alcohol in my system for an event or a significant time in their life, can I do it? Those are the depths. I mean, that's the depth of the question on those questionnaires. Not, can I stop if I want to? Yeah, I just don't want to. That's not really the depth of the answer to that question. It's if it's necessary for me to stop, can I stop? How much do I drink? Can I be honest about how much I drink? Those are a couple of the questions that are on that questionnaire that alcoholics have a real difficult time answering for themselves. And if you want to really get your answers checked like you do in school, ask somebody else their opinion. What do you think is the right answer for me? That would be really sticking your neck out. But if you want to get to the honest answer, if you want somebody else to see the truth that you can't see yourself, then that would be one of the avenues that you could take. Now, this is Cathy McLeish. We're going to go through some questions about alcoholism, the same kind of questions that therapists ask, that if you went to a treatment center, they would ask you these questions before they, gave you a bed. Can we answer those questions honestly? Because in any area of our life, if I can't answer the questions about the situation that is holding me down, that is holding me back, then I can't get into the answer. So please stay with me, join me, subscribe, and we'll see what the answers are to the deeper questions about alcoholism. Thanks.